Okay, so last time you ended with a training session with Agatha. She wasn't too horribly impressed. And of course, this is after having learned about Clovis, the ever-walking Death Knight that is apparently a former acquaintance of Jorell.
Oh, book's telling me nothing.
You were warned and kind of given the general gist of Clovis and his background and all that jazz. There's, of course, a lot more to the story, but you got enough info for it to realize he's a bad dude.
He was not good.
Now,
Solution to the problem is simple. We kill the bad man.
after your short training session with Agatha, she gives you the rest of the day off, says you're going to meet again the following day for another training session. But you do have the rest of the day to eat, drink, be merry, relax, get some rest, do what you need to do. And you have your run of the guild, as it were.
Continue reading the book until the DM grants me the knowledge I seek from it.
Information. Captain Jack Spaulding. Jack Spaulding.
Right. Jerk.
Landowner.
Landowner, slave trader, douchebag.
So a Brathian citizen to the ideals.
Again, repeating just in case we don't know where it left off before. There's not really much for material here on public records for other towns, but there are items and personnel that you could have that others would use for access for divining or trying to seek out that kind of information. You being low man on the totem pole in the guild don't have access to that, or at least have priority access to that, so you'd have to put in a request. All requests are taken in the order they're received. You get to basically put in a ticket and hope the ticket number pops up.
So hold on a second. I get access to this book with history and depth and everything, and he doesn't get information.
He wants information about a local from another town. We don't have a giant library full of that information. We don't copy all the local town's records as they're being written.
All right, we're taking a trip to the Library of Light. all recorded knowledge of mankind.
I don't like that place.
I did find this guy.
Quick, Google him.
Yeah, you can put in a request if you'd like.
Yes.
You just gotta.
Is it like an automated system? I don't want to say computer system because it's D&D.
No, he actually he's gonna actually write a written request and pass it off to a clerk, so to speak, who will then just, when it's because he needs to actually write out the information he's looking for.
Okay.
And then that clerk passes it on to their research department, so to speak.
Right.
So I'm creating a follow-up item.
Right.
That's getting sent out to the research department.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so what I'm
They're
leading
going to suspend that item until they can get to it in the queue.
Well, what I'm leading towards is
Bogons, really?
Yeah.
Well, what I'm leading towards, though, is there seems to be an awful lot of bureaucracy. And I haven't really explained it yet, but there's a character in this group that's really good at bureaucracy. But you might not know that about me.
That character.
No, I'm probably doing a pretty good job carousing at the moment. But that's up to you.
There's a bureaucrat amongst us.
I'll come look for you when I need stuff blown up.
I mean, that's the only impression I'm giving you so far, so yeah.
Or possibly screwed up. Rookie.
So you submit a written request to the clerk?
Yep.
Okay. They inform you that you will be made aware when the research is completed. Does anyone else have anything else they wanted to chit-chat or look into, or... Okay. So the rest of the day passes. Y'all are able to get some sleep that night. Y'all have access to your own private quarters now, as you are all guild members. And you wake up the next morning again. Same scenario. Your beds all sit you up. All of a sudden you hear Agatha's voice in each of your rooms. Time for day 2.
All right. I'm going to say Ascot's a little upset with all this. He's not really into this whole military training thing. So he's just going to go to a different inn. He's going to get up, grab his stuff, and go to a different inn.
Okay.
It's gonna go well.
He says that. Does he actually do it?
No, he's doing it. Maybe when the beds kick us up, we'll say, forgot about that. This sucks. Just grab myself and just start walking.
I got another 2 hours where I gotta be up.
Do I hear him complaining about this?
In a separate room.
Who in the right mind gets up at dawn? That's stupid. Stupid.
So as you leave your room, you'd have to come out into the main area, which is where Agatha's waiting for you all. And where do you think you're going?
I'm leaving.
You're leaving?
Yes.
This
is dumb.
You're quitting.
I want to sleep. Do you have any idea how late I was up last night and how much I had to drink? No, I'm leaving.
Well, as much as I don't agree with his reasoning, I do agree with the fact that I don't have time for this training.
Yeah, he's with me.
I think our efforts would be better spent doing research and finding out where we need to go to stop certain individuals.
Yeah, and sleeping.
Well, sleeping is important for some people. I think I've had enough of my own.
Okay. Well, are the rest of you still in your room, or are you coming out?
Come out.
Okay. She looks around at the rest of the group. Do you all feel this way? You'd rather not train? You'd rather just sleep and read books?
I would prefer to train.
So would I.
Come on, it's like a half an hour workout in the morning, and then you get the rest of the day off.
Oh, but it's in the morning. Why can't it be before lunch? That would be so much more convenient.
It is before lunch.
It's like right before lunch.
And I feel it's rather tedious to lay out an individual during training just because they managed to get the most hits off on you. And I give her that. So I'm sorry if my power is not up to what it used to be, but believe me.
Leave you...
This is not something I have the time for.
It is rough losing 1 hour out of the day. You don't...
But it's the first hour! That's my problem with
23 hours to yourself and you don't have time for it. Alright. Well, if you don't want to be a part of the training, you don't have to be a part of the training.
Sneak attack.
But...
That's what
Mizr tackles her through the banister until she's sitting on the floor.
I got the drop on you.
Now that's training I could get behind. We do that, we smack her with a couple spells, be like, oh, we're done here.
Do you actually want to tackle her?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, that's fine.
Sneak attack.
Yeah,
She was
roll.
always talking about getting the drop and being ready, so
that's
we're
fine,
training.
yeah.
We're training now.
Training begins.
17, and I'll go for a double claw, so that would be a 23 to hit.
They're tackling.
I thought you were
Oh,
tackling.
right, yeah.
Yeah, so you
Just
want to
gotta
try to
pull
grapple her.
like a dog being overly excited. So 20.
I almost-
it would just be a 20 if it's a strength.
Yeah,
It's a
well, it's a
17.
grapple roll, so it's
Yeah.
opposed athletics.
Athletics and acrobatics.
Athletics, so it'd be 23. 'Cause I'm
I almost see her like she hears your last couple steps, thump thump thump, and turns, and you're like that, and she's like, oh good.
Right in the hall.
Yeah, you successfully pounce her and do tumble with her right off the balcony area, right into the main area.
You should garm the hell out of her.
Exactly.
Well, I very much appreciate this. I would like
So
to cast
you
any-
are, after you guys, you tumble, head over heel a couple times, and then you end up on top of her, just giant bear on top of this. She's not a small female, but on top of this female, I don't know, what would you like to do next, sir? How would you like to proceed?
Toothy smile as possible. Say,
Surprise.
surprise! Fooled you.
I'm
good with it. I'm good at getting the drop.
She kind of smiles at you, and then you hear her whispering these weird words you don't quite understand. And all of a sudden, there's 4 of her. You're on top of one of her, but then there's 2 on this side and 1 on this side. And you're kind of like,
So they're down over the thing, right?
yeah.
I'm gonna cast Pass Without a Trace and grab him and say, "We're going outside."
That sounds good.
So effectively, she casts mirror image on herself. I don't know if you want to take another action before she.
I will take a dodge action.
Okay.
Kind of sit and get ready with a dodge.
Like, what's happening now? All of a sudden, all 4 of her forms disappear and are about 25 feet. Well, we're in a room here. So all of a sudden, she's about 15 feet behind you, and she's and all 4 forms pop up again as she misty steps away from you. It's like, I'm over here.
Awesome. Misty step and do it again.
I don't even need to. I just want to.
We're training now.
Now we're getting into the anime combat where he hits her, she teleports over here, he teleports behind
Yep,
her.
right behind her with the same thing. Hey, I can do that now too.
It's just not doing great.
My druid friends. And I'll just continue with that training until she tells me to stop or wait or whatever else. With just a back and forth.
Okay, so these 2 are tussling back and forth. Sometimes you go to grapple and you go through one of the illusions, and other times, she comes up and she kind of just she's kind of getting, she gets this it's a playful training kind of thing. So when she comes up behind you, she'll just tap you in the back of the head. You know what I mean?
I'll go
You're
full force.
Yeah, you're going full force, but to her, she's like, I gotta not kill him. Tap.
And as they're doing this and we're leaving, I'm just gonna look at her and be like, I don't even think we needed the spell.
I do inform you to leave your things, though. We're not leaving.
I already got them.
All right.
I literally have a little pack.
Oh, your little.
Yeah, I have an 8
knapsack.
strength. I can't have much. I have my clothes and a backpack.
So eventually we have that cartoon moment where it's just this giant ball of smoke and dust just rumbling around the room. And you have Bartok just
in the end.
we got a practice area for that crap.
Sure, we woke up half the guild.
Glad I didn't go with my impulse of casting Sleet Storm. That would have just made things worse.
Yeah, just slipping and sliding all around all over the place as well. Yeah.
Inside.
And Mizr is obviously absolutely having a blast.
Yeah, laughing. She's actually enjoying herself as well. Which is why she's continuing this scenario instead of being what she should be, serious and oh, wait, this is not the time or the place. Well, it's the time, but not the place. So yeah, this goes on until eventually pretty much the whole room, all the tables and chairs in the whole room are destroyed and splintered and shattered.
Wakes up, just looking.
Bartok, yeah, he's just behind the counter. Oh, God. Now I know what I'm doing for the next couple days.
Mending.
So yeah, eventually Orion comes out and is like, hey! You see him wild shape into a bear the same size as you and jumps in.
Awesome, just made it 1,000 times better.
He's the same size as you, but he's a black bear. Just so we can tell each other apart. What would you guys all like to, or you guys left?
Yep.
What would either of you like to do during this comedic Tasmanian devil moment?
I just kind of see myself
walking down over the balcony.
Still up on the second floor, with my axe just kind of watching.
I feel like
Stoically.
as much as I would find it entertaining, I'd probably go out to the training ground and just do training
Just
on my
do
own.
your own training.
Yeah.
Punch some wooden dummies.
Part of me wants to jump in, but
Roll higher.
I've also been house trained enough that I'm not going to fire off Call Lightning or Shatter
You know better.
or Sleet Storm indoors.
When you follow the same path that you followed the day before, except when this time when you open the door, instead of it being like in this big grassy outdoor field, it looks like the same place that like your old training grounds, like wherever it was when you were younger, like the training room or the grounds. It's very familiar to you. You're like, it almost smells the same. It seems like it just kind of, it's clearly, you quickly realize it's some sort of magical illusion. But it just seems to take on whatever familiar training form or area that you're used to intuitively. Yeah, I just thought it was like super and call lightning, and that was hey.
I was tempted, but I'm also not going to physically jump in the middle of that.
Yeah, no,
Second bear, definitely not jumping in the middle of that.
right. Yeah, and as you're following the ruckus, so to speak, you realize that it quickly turns into now Mizr and Agatha versus Orion. Like it's like this 2-on-2 battle, and he's just like laughing the whole time, just like very anime-esque, just like like dodging and like parrying all the incoming like attacks at him.
I might throw the occasional healing word in.
It's like when you're wrestling with kids and they realize they have to double team the adult or they're never going to win.
Right, exactly. Like it was every man for themselves for a second, then all of a sudden, Agatha's just like, it's Orion. I know better. So that actually goes on for quite a while. That goes on for close to an hour.
Oh. Well, while that goes on, I go take him outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep healing Mizr and keep him in the fight.
Anywhere in particular you two would like to head?
Oh, yeah,
I just want to get
either one ever
outside.
seemed like you even get slightly hurt, I'll lay on hands either Orion or Agatha, just for the sake of throwing it in as well.
Right.
Somebody starts to get even winded, just boom.
And every now and then you feel bolstered by a random spell from her. Like every now and then she'll she throws oh, I just went blank. She puts a blur spell on you at one point.
Nice.
Stuff like that. Mutual buffing going on during this hour-long playtime.
For a blast, 3 targets. Mizr, Agatha, Orion.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
So, I would like to show him the journal entry you read, so he can.
You want me to read?
I thought you were a bureaucrat.
It's so early.
Just, I brought
is
you
an
out
hour
here for
later.
more than just the fact that I agree with your thinking that all this training earlier was a waste of time.
Oh.
Okay.
Alright, okay, well, alright. Sure, I'll take a look at it. And I get the gist of what was said
Yeah.
before.
So the individual who gave him that information is me.
You caused it all?
This is your...
The fact of the matter is, I am obviously 3,000 years behind current events. Okay?
Obviously.
And
I've seen you.
the rest of our, I'm getting strength back. Okay. Okay. So eating for me to fight me. Our friends here are obviously more military minded, more warrior based. However, I need someone who obviously has spent more time with current events.
So you want me to find you someone who spent more time with current events?
Well, if not you might have an idea of where to look. These people are obviously busy fighting.
Oh.
We obviously have a bigger problem on our hands.
Yeah, alright. Sure. Give me 3 hours and I am on top of that.
I assume that's after your nap, correct?
Yeah.
He had to consult his bracer there.
My bracer of clocking.
His little sundial on it.
little sundial. He's like,
And a little level to make sure it's level. But okay, alright. Yep, alright. Yeah, no, I'll definitely look into that for you. I'll say that I get a room and I put my head down, but I only sleep for like 20 more minutes.
Principle.
God damn it, I'm up. All right, where's your thing? And so what information do you want me to look for specifically? Or just anything?
I don't know where to look in this time, place.
Just what's going on.
Exactly.
Okay.
How many things have changed? I'll start listing off like towns and cities to him that. Do any of these sound familiar?
You're just like, where is the nearest dragon den?
Okay, so
Dragons? Yeah.
so my character has been alive in the world for somewhere around 20 years, so I can give him probably a bunch of current event stuff, you know, that sort of thing. If any specific history does come up, I am proficient in history. You know, through my upbringing, I was taught things, so I know some of that. So, you know, I definitely will go over, you know, current events with you, and you know, mostly I seem to have a grasp on the political situation, and mostly like not from this part of the world. Well, I would say not from this part of the world, but not from this particular island that we're on.
But you know about this area.
Yeah, I know about that area a lot better.
Oh, good, I know about that area too.
Yeah.
It definitely looked a lot different.
Yeah, and
You turn the map, it's upside down.
yeah, it's
Shorelines were a little different when I was.
oh, well, they've always been the same as far as I know, but I didn't sleep for a million years. Yeah, and I'll just like start like I mean that's one thing I could do is I could get out a regional map like that and just start pointing out different areas and what they're called. I would know some of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I will say though that as I'm explaining things to you, I'm doing like I'm kind of like forgetting like no, it's this one. No, that one. So you can tell that even though I know some stuff, I was probably a really bad student.
And over here's where the capital of the kingdom of Thunder Oak is. The capital's name is Stone Room.
yeah, I'll do stuff like or do stuff like where I'll point to Ohio and call it Indiana, and they go no, that one's Indiana, that one's Ohio. Yeah. Like I know it, but it takes me a second.
As someone who's from Ohio, very upset.
Oh yeah.
Looking at the whole map, what I think would be hilarious is if Jorell was like, "What happened to the Grey Shore?"
That's kind
You mean the island of Greyland?
That's kind of my thing. It's like I was gonna say, well, there was a village right about here where the water is, long ago. In fact, it's the last thing I remember seeing.
Well,
So
I don't know
like
what to tell you.
There's very much that has changed.
Well, you know, it depends on your school of thought. You know, some religious people believe that the gods elevated the seas to, you know, cleanse for evil people, and you know, there's more scientific minds that believe it's just some sort of climate change happened.
Do you know?
I can't really tell you.
Do you know of anyone who would be at least familiar with information from as old as I am?
Someone as old as you? No. I mean, I know some historians, but I don't really want to go back there.
Well, it's obvious according to this journal that there's a very detailed account of Clovis. So I'm wondering if there's more information, detailed accounts of myself and all the rest of my party members.
Yeah, your weird friend with the hunchback. Well, there might be someone in this town, or maybe someone in this town knows. Can ask around for you.
Unfortunately, from what you've told me about current events, the people I would like to speak to would be the elves, but unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be a thing.
What? So I'm not as knowledgeable about Wrath. What's the thing about elves?
Elves and humans don't get along.
They don't get along,
No.
like at all.
No, I mean, especially if you're from like a denser, like the denser part of the human kingdom. The humans kicked out the elves from all the cities and banned them to like the forest and the wilderness.
Are elves sort of seen as barbarians?
No, they just basically what it was is the elves came to the humans as like, look, we're destroying the world. We really need to change what we're doing. And the humans were like, fuck you. You know, so like it was kind of Al Gore was like, you know,
I'm
catastrophic. And George Bush was like, fuck you.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, you don't really want to talk to the elves. They're, you know,
As much as I am sure that you have such a big hand, why the elves and the humans don't get along, they are certainly the only ones who have the information that I require. So at some point, I would like to go speak to them. Not anytime soon, I suppose. It's far away now. But there's something on my to-do list. I'm not sure about you.
There are not elves in these forests?
There's not really any primary inhabitants of elves on this island of Pladius. The nearest elf.
More just for history, they tend to be just a lot more south, I take it.
Well, I mean, if you look on the main continent there's the mountain range with a huge forest in there. Like, that's the primary elven area.
Andraste.
Yeah.
There's some jungle elves down in here.
Yeah, and also in the upside down U-shape area there, that's another elven area, but that's kind of like more of like the
Gray?
No, it's kind of actually more of like the druidic kind of area, like not specifically elven, though they're kind of the rulers of that area.
And then you'd have snow elves up in here and desert elves.
Yeah, I have a lot of different types of elves in my area, but they're kind of confined to wilderness and wilderness base. So again, like you have winter elves, or snow elves, desert elves, jungle elves, wild elves, wood elves.
Would he know this general information about, like, at least where these things are located?
Yeah,
I probably know those things. Would I know if there's any on this island that we're on, or maybe even this island here?
The island it's common knowledge that the island that you're on is part of the Thunder Oak Kingdom as a general rule. So there's no dense population of elves. If there was a couple elves, they'd be just wandering, adventuring about, or just traveling through. There's no actual residential elves.
It's not like a commonly known thing that there's like elves on that side of the island or something.
Right.
Then I would.
Whereas this other nearby island over here, there's rumor of elves being here, but they don't. They're also, the rumor is that they're very unwelcoming and unfriendly. Out of game, there's a conclave of gray elves that are up there, and there's also a conclave of gray elves down at the Chena Islands to the south there. No, way down south there. That
over there.
Yeah, those islands there.
All right. Well, I'll let you know that there's elves there, but they're very unfriendly.
And is there any type of grand library that your place has?
Make a knowledge arcana check for me, sir.
Oh, one I don't have.
Thought I was being nice.
Oh, I got history.
Okay, you can make a history check.
9.
There is rumor of a all-knowing library. He doesn't know where it is.
Well, at least that
It's a myth. Doesn't exist. Yeah, my character doesn't know anything about magic. He can just do it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah.
I mean, there's obviously libraries and stuff, but in like capital cities, a big library that would know everything. I mean, there's a myth. I don't know.
Royal Archives and
Stone Root.
Is there a big city in the place on the island that we're on? Or is this like the biggest population is like in this little...
You're in one of the denser population towns. Yeah, there's no like capital or metropolis on this town. It's mostly a lot of spread out towns. Like this giant island is basically owned and procured by the Kingdom of Thunder Oak as where they grow 90% of their kingdom's crops.
Okay.
So there's lots of just small farming outposts, and there are a half dozen small towns and villages, but no huge metropolis.
Okay.
But lots of trade. There's lots of ships in and out. Again, because they're constantly moving crops and doing trade goods back and forth. Like if you wanted to get back to the mainland, so to speak, it would not be hard. There's ships multiple times a day out of the ports.
Okay. So then, in that case, I want to spend some time, like, asking around, seeing if there are any like local sages or historians or even just storytellers of ancient stories, that sort of thing. And if I could do it, I'd like to do it more through like, sort of carousing with people, just seeing, hey, do you know this sort of thing, that sort of thing? Because my character's intelligence is just a 10, my charisma is 16, so I'd like to do it more charisma based if it's possible.
Okay.
And just kind of ask around, see what.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Roll an investigation using your charisma.
19.
So yeah, you schmooze about town.
Yep.
And everyone seems to be saying that, like, well, the most knowledgeable people we know of is in that DragonTail guild. Here, Orion is older and wiser than his appearance gives you the impression of. And he's supposed to be one of the guys, like, anytime we don't know anything, we as the town, well, I mean, we go to the mayor, but then the mayor goes to him. I mean, we all know where the mayor goes to get the answers.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, and I mean, rumors traveled quick through town. I hear you're part of that group that went north and saved that other town. Aren't you part of that guild now? I mean, I would assume they would have indoctrinated you and...
Yeah, it's all him. But, look, I guess we need to see if Orion will open up more about it.
Well, I just assume in the time we've spent here, and their little scuffle back in the tavern might have worn everybody out. You probably go and speak to him.
That's still going on.
Yeah, so we can go back and try to talk to Orion.
All right.
We spent a few hours doing that, right?
Yeah, that would have been a little while. Yeah.
Typically, investigation rolls are a couple hours.
Was there anything that you may have wanted to do during this time other than solo training? Anything that you may want to do other than spectating and or maybe eating breakfast while you're there? Okay.
Breakfast. I probably had breakfast while I was carousing.
Okay.
Sorry, I stopped serving breakfast at 10:30.
You return back to the guild, and Orion and Agatha, or Agatha's kind of in the corner, just kind of chilling, sipping some tea. Orion's just like sprawled out on top of one of the tables that's like still mostly standing, but one of the legs is teetering. It looks cracked and like it's gonna fall anytime. He's just like,
What a mess! Good God! There was a storm in here or something.
Stormmane.
And what is he doing?
What are you doing, sir? I don't know. I'm not going to
once
speak
we're
for your
done,
character.
and I saw the look on Bartog's face, I would try to start help cleaning up.
He's over there like big
Bartog
bear
has been very nice to
with
me
a little
so far.
dustpan and broom. Like,
So after the fact, I would understand Bartog's dilemma, and I would try to help as much as I could.
Okay. He is very grateful.
As I walk to Orion, I'll just mage hand things out of my way as I approach him.
Orion says to Bartok, just fix it all up, put it on the guild tab. 3 days later, the entire tavern is decked out in gold-plated furniture.
Destroy this. Fireball, fuck.
Next time it's adamantite.
You said destroy this, like someone wouldn't be like, challenge accepted. Orion, buddy, pal, guy that I've just met.
Sup.
Well, we've been asking around town for any, sages or knowledge-bearing people or historians, and they all point this direction. We're hoping to just find more information on...
He's
The world
purposely messing
itself.
up his hair some more. Yeah, I mean, you guys are, I know you're new, but...
You must have some sort of library of knowledge or something.
Yeah, I have my fair share of books. What is it that you're looking to know?
I hand him the journal with that page again opened up, and say,
He just kind of glances down, yeah, I'm familiar with I've read that.
I am the individual he came to for guidance.
He started it all.
I mean, did everyone say it's anyone's fault? It says at the end there that they've investigated further and that everything pointed still to Galaxius.
I know, but it's just funny to say he started it all.
My question is this. You obviously have detailed records of Clovis. Do you have any more sources of information that would give me more details about myself or the rest of my party that is mentioned here? There are many things I remember and many more things I do not.
Yeah, we should probably put this whole thing to bed. So, out of game real quick, do you have access to Zone of Truth? Are you high enough level for that?
I think it's the second level, yeah.
Okay. I know it's a second level Paladin spell, I don't know, I'm gonna assume it's also a second level Cleric spell.
Yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a second level enchantment.
Okay.
And just make sure it's a Cleric spell. Yes, it is.
He says, okay. Hey, Stormmane, buddy, can you come over here for a second?
He's a half-elf, right?
He appears to be half-elf, yes.
Yes.
Just double checking the race thing. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so yeah, he appears to be half-elf. I was wondering if you could do me a favor. I don't know if you have it prepared with your morning rituals that you do, but do you know? Are you familiar with the spell Zone of Truth?
Yes.
Do you think you could prepare that for me tomorrow, and then we'll all have a little powwow?
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate that.
He hates elves.
Did he whisper that to me?
It's cool. I appreciate it very much. Okay. Let's all meet tomorrow morning. 11-ish.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Agatha, no training tomorrow. I figure you need a day to recuperate from that anyways.
No, I look almost disappointed.
Mizr, we can still wrestle around a little bit in the morning if you want, buddy.
And then I look at Bartog and back to Orion and back to Bartog,
Maybe
back to Orion and then gone quickly.
Yeah, we'll have a little powwow, a little chit chat, because we gotta just put a few things to rest. They're
gonna go to the training grounds, and it's just gonna be full of giant faces.
Yay!
So, Jorell, tomorrow we'll chat. Okay.
So now that I'm awake and properly fed, then I think I will go to the training grounds. But I'm gonna do like semi-ridiculous training, like, you know, I'll go to like a wooden dummy and like hit it like I'm using a sword or something, but then I'll like go over and try to do like somersaults into a blast.
That's exactly what I was thinking of doing.
Training guys, like one-handed handsprings. Like,
Yeah, like run sideways, dive, and blast out like that. And then like I'll pretend that I'm like fighting some like friend that is now a villain. You know, kind of inspired by these guys. And then like he's getting away, I say no and blast into the air.
And you come out to check on him later, and he has this human-sized target that's completely untouched, and the wall behind it is scorched everywhere except the target.
Yep, that's exactly true. When you look at me when you look at me like that, like, wow, what did you do there? I'm like, no, I actually hit everything I wanted to.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to do for the remainder of this day before we gather again tomorrow?
Menial tasks for the guild. Whatever they need, lifting, pulling.
Pick things up, put things down.
Exactly. They got a big old bear that is willing to help out with any kind of that heavy stuff to help.
push-up competitions.
So menial arm wrestling. Menial tasks.
No one does
for the
push-ups
guild.
like Gaston.
So
I'll order room service.
Bartog takes advantage of having another large, strong fellow about, and he's like, Oh, finally I can get some of this stone furniture out there.
I help out with as much of that as I can. So that'll be my whole day is just helping.
So
out
like
the guild.
you're going up and down through like that trap door that's
Yeah.
behind the bar like all day long, like stone bench. Just two of you doing it together, just like even with the two of us, this thing weighs a ton.
Triangular weight that has the amount of weight that it weighs on top of it. Old
He's just
timey
like,
barbell.
I always told them that wooden furniture was foolish.
If I get bored, I will use Mage Hand and start like moving stuff around, like smaller stuff that they might have missed, just kind of flinging it in little piles, make it slightly more organized. Mm-hmm. Like lazily helping out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That goes over there.
yeah. I need more wine. Okay. And that goes over there.
Next day,
Summon some to myself.
you are not woken up by your beds.
What?
You may sleep in.
I'm gonna get up early. It's training ground.
You just already still, you have like a natural like alarm clock. You just,
Well, I was gonna say I want to investigate that bed and see if it's like a mechanism, and if so, I want to disable it.
Oh no, it's not a mechanism. Or you don't see anything mechanical about it.
All right. Once I don't see anything mechanical about it, I am sleeping in a different place. Huh?
It sleeps on the floor. Frig it. Did you want to sleep just like put out your bedroll and sleep on the ground next to it, or did you want to go back to the
No, I'll go to
inn?
that other inn to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I'll wake up mid-morning, clean up, have some breakfast, get the wine going, and make my way over to them. Fashionably late. 11:15, still 11. Jeez.
So you show up at about 11:15. 11:14 and 58 seconds.
Yep.
Everyone's just standing there waiting for you. Really?
My tail wags when you come in. I'm happy to see you.
So Orion's standing there, kind of standing on one of the new stone tables. Gather, everyone, gather, go. Okay. So, one of the reasons that I asked you specifically to prepare Zone of Truth is, one, well, most of my clerics aren't available, and two, why not, right? I'm still having trouble swallowing that you are who you say you are, that you're 3,000 years old, that you're Jorell Magnusson. So, it's no offense to you. I mean, no matter who you are, you're a great guy. You know, I really appreciate what you've done for us. It's just that, you know, I mean, come on. Jorell Magnusson. Okay. No one else in here recognizes the name. You know, like, we've already kind of covered that. But you quickly get the impression that he's making out like this is some, like, that name's a big deal. And, like, you know, he's basically, it's like him claiming to be like, oh, yeah, you're George Washington. Sure.
No, George Washington Carver.
So, if you would, the honors of casting Zone of Truth, and let me know if he is indeed affected by it. I'm familiar with the spell and how it works, so,
Why?
just because let's make a circle of truth, a circle of honesty. Let's all just be blunt with each other.
That seems a little intrusive.
Are you afraid of telling the truth for a few minutes?
Maybe.
Can you choose to intentionally fail your save?
yeah.
You can always choose to intentionally fail your save, which is what Orion is doing. He's purposely failing his save.
Tell you what.
Anyone that wants can purposely fail their save, or they can indeed actually make the save throw against it.
So I'll cast it.
I'll tell you what. I'll listen in from over here, and I'll like. Go
If you
to-
made the save, you could pretend to, right?
No.
He would know whether or not you
He
make
would
the
know.
save,
He would know.
though. Yeah, it specifically says in
Yeah.
the spell that he knows if they can lie or not.
You know whether each creature succeeded or failed on its saving throw. So I'll cast Zone of Truth. Fail my save.
I know what he's doing.
Save as well.
I ran with a paladin.
I go to the edge. I go just past the edge of the spell and listen in.
Okay. Are you going to participate, or are you going to? Would you like to
15
roll
foot
or
radius.
fail your save intentionally?
We're 15 feet away.
Okay. Orion kind of looks over you and
Maybe.